Nuggets lost to the Magic. Adam can't believe it. I can believe it. This is Locked On Nuggets. Welcome to Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. My name is Matt Moore. I'm the senior NBA writer for the Action Network and the Nuggets Insider for 104.3 The Fan in Denver. He's Adam Mares. He's director of content for DNVR. You can check out his work at thednvr.com. Today's episode is brought to you by Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and grow your business. Scaling your business is a journey of endless possibility. So start now at shopify.com/lockedonnba. That's locked on, and shopify.com/lockedonnba, all lowercase. On today's show, we will talk about what happened when the Nuggets lost to the Magic in a game that is either completely perplexing or very predictable. We'll also get into the Nuggets deciding to bring in Devon Reed in light of all of their injury situations and what other moves might be on the horizon, given that their pets' heads are falling off. Adam, let's start here. People picked up that I was a little nervous about this game. I got tweets about it. They're like, you were talking about this on Locked On. Like, I'm not. This game to me is the model for how the Nuggets lose these games in the modern context, which is, the old Nuggets, the old Jokic era Nuggets would trail the entire game and just never look good and just not take them seriously. The new Nuggets get out to a huge lead. And then because in the past, like from really the Jeremy Grant era through last year, they had enough talent that if they just hit the opponent out of the gate, if they got one knockdown in the first quarter, they could just duck and weave the rest of the fight and get the decision. And because they had enough talent, to basically just hit them with one wave and then kind of coast. And they keep trying to do that. And so they come out last night. I thought they were awesome in that first quarter. And then they thought that they could carry themselves with talent, and they just don't have enough. That's my take.
Yeah. What surprises me, not necessarily, it is surprising that they lost because that Magic team is not very good, in my opinion. They made some shots. They got some momentum, and they started to play with that, like, nothing to lose sort of like, a reckless abandon. But what bugged me was I thought we were done with this version of Jokic. This was the worst game he's played in 2 years. And that's the part, because look, they've had these games before where it's like, okay, yeah, they get off to a big lead, they blow it. Now, instead of resting your starters in the fourth, now you got to play them 37 minutes. And I thought that's what we were headed for. And in fact, when Jokic checked in the fourth quarter, he had a little pep in his step. And I thought, okay, there it is. Oh, he's just going to close the door. We're going to have to win ugly and not feel good about it. But even he couldn't get it done in the fourth and was frustrated. He was getting mad at officials. He's getting mad at players. And I just thought, man, this is the old Jokic coming back. I thought this guy was gone. And maybe it's just one game. Maybe the standard is too high for him since he didn't really have any bad games last year. But this was a bad game. First time I'd seen it in a while.
Yeah, again, I kind of like when I watch it, like it very much just felt like this team, like I think Jokic in particular was just like annoyed, where it's
He's
like
very annoyed.
Because he comes out and he has 7-8-3 in the first quarter, and they have a big lead, and then you can just tell that he's like, really, we can't hold it versus the Magic, really.
Yeah,
and then
part of it was the starters too. Like
Yeah,
I think actually they were up 11, and when he checked back in, they were up 10. So the bench did its job. The first stint, at least.
The first stint, yeah. The first stint, the bench did its job. Look, Jokic was a +6 in the second quarter, right? So that's two stints. They got two stints, and then the third quarter comes, and it's disaster, as it's wont to do, right? And we talk about all the time. Like the starters have to win 3 of the 4 stretches. Right. They're -9 with him going 1 of 7 in that third quarter. Okay, that's fine. All you gotta do is win that fourth quarter, and nope.
Yeah.
Like, just did not have it.
It's crazy.
Do you feel like you feel like there was a matter of like the frustration on him was super high in this game?
Well, so here's what I would say. I thought last year, I mean, we all know the old Yoke that would get technicals, and he'd get mad at officials. He would do dumb fouls in the backcourt just to show up officials and this or that. And that guy had gone away. It had been less and less of that over time. And I thought that guy made an appearance this last game. And then, just the sort of malaise that he played with in that second and third quarter. It was disappointing. And what was most disappointing about it, Matt, and one reason I did not expect it, is the Nuggets were coming off of a 6-game losing streak. They got one win. It wasn't like they had regained everything they had lost. They got one win, and you thought, okay, you need to start stacking some of these to kind of regain that 6-game losing streak. And instead you drop another one, and it, in many ways, it almost feels like the streak is extended.
Yeah. Especially because let me put it this way. Put yourselves in the shoes of Heat fans, which probably not something the Nuggets fans want to do. But I was looking through some Heat fan Twitter today, and a lot of their comments was, or last night, and a lot of their comments were like, "Oh, typical. Like the Nuggets get beat by the Magic when they shoot normally, and then versus us, they shoot 51% from three.
Completely different team that had played those 2 nights, man.
Yeah, that's how. But that's how they feel, right? Is like
Denver wanted to beat Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Like they wanted to send a message to Miami. They couldn't be bothered to be on the court against Orlando.
This continue. I mean, look, part of this is this continues to be my frustration with the NBA in general, based off of the schedule, right? Like a non-con, it's a non-con loss where it's just and a lot of it just is. If you're not, I think for the players' perspective, they don't look at it my way, right? Like no one cares about conferences or even divisions, really. I'm the only person that cares about those things. But if it's a team that you see regularly and you're like, oh, we need to beat this team, we're always trying to beat them in the playoffs.
Right.
Like you're aware of that. Or if it's a division team and you're just like, I hate those guys. We play them 4 times a year and they're always annoying, whatever. But like this Magic team, like what's your motivation?
Well, here, let me give you one, because I'm with you on a lot of this. I'm with you on a lot of it. But I just mentioned that they had lost 6 games in a row and they were 500 and needed to get above it. But here's another one, man. And watching the post game, I really felt this. This game meant a lot to Aaron Gordon. And he came out and played hard. I thought him and Monte were the 2 guys that played hard in this game, played well. And it was just weird that the team didn't seem to sense that. I mean, he even after the game said this was a tough one for him, to lose this one, that it was tough. And I just feel like, hey, that's a game you have your guys back. I mean, Aaron Gordon has given you guys a lot this season. Go out there. It's in Orlando. Go out there and help him dominate and reward him with that. And the fact that they didn't, to me, is it's disappointing. It's just one game. It's not a big deal, but this is more disappointed than I was, I guess, even after that 76ers loss in a way because of these factors.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about this loss and the makeup of the team and those type of things. And some players are going to have to get a little bit of negative attention. We'll do that when we come back on Locked On Nuggets. I have to do this. This is a thing that has to be done. Cha-ching! I love that sound. It's the sound of another sale on Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and grow your business. Shopify is a complete commerce platform business. Subscription-based software allows anyone to set up and sell their products. Shopify store owners can also sell in physical locations using Shopify's point-of-sale system and accompanying hardware. They give entrepreneurs the resources once reserved for big business, so upstarts, startups, and established businesses alike can sell anywhere, synchronize online and in-person sales, and effortlessly stay informed. Scaling your business is a journey of endless possibility, and Shopify helps you make your entrepreneurial dreams come true. I love how Shopify has the tools and resources to make it easy for any business to succeed, from down the street to around the globe. Shopify powers over 1.7 million businesses from first sale to full scale, reaching customers online and across social networks with an ever-growing suite of channel integrations and apps, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and more. It allows you to gain insights as you grow with detailed reporting of conversion rates, profit margins, and beyond. Go to shopify.com/lockedonnba, all lowercase, for a free 14-day trial and get free access to Shopify's entire suite of features. Grow your business with Shopify today. Go to shopify.com/lockedonnba right now. Shopify.com/lockedonnba. And if you're selling goods and you're a small business, you're going to want to be able to cut down on some of your expenses. Best way to do that is with TrueBill, another of our sponsors for this episode. Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam to get you. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download TrueBill to take control of your subscriptions. TrueBill is a new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with TrueBill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, TrueBill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and TrueBill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in just one tap. And your TrueBill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. They've got over 2 million users and have helped save them over $100 million. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/lockedonnba. Go right now, truebill.com/lockedonnba. It could save you thousands a year. truebill.com/lockedonnba. We'll be right back on Locked On Nuggets. Back here on Locked On Nuggets. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. We are free and we are available on all platforms. Hey, by the way, shout out to Gary Harris for double-digit scoring for the first time this season. 11 points plus 8 for Gary. Gary. Good for him. Thought Franz Wagner was great in this game. He attacked Jokic in particular on a baseline drive. That was like a momentum changer.
Jokic's defense was just so bad in this game. It was so bad.
It was really bad.
Magic. Like it was so bad.
Yeah, your frustration level's high. I continue. It's really crazy. You know what? I just, this is like a side note that I just kind of want to note. And it explains a few nuggets too. That will go other places and look differently. Wendell Carter Jr. I thought like Wendell Carter Jr. was uniformly horrible in Chicago. Like whenever I watched them last year and the year before that, the last 2 seasons when he was with Chicago, I was just like, he is awful. Doesn't rebound, doesn't defend, looks lost, looks up like he's moping, right? But then he goes to Orlando, this worse situation in a worse market. But the team is basically like, yeah, no, we're gonna play you like 25 minutes to 35 minutes a game. Like you're good. We think you're gonna get a lot of minutes to get better here. And he's been awesome. Like I think he's been better. Everyone's losing their minds over Mo Bamba. I think WCJ has been better. Thought he was really good in this game, especially getting dunk opportunities inside. Here's like another bad sign about that loss, right? If the Magic shoot 6 of 27 from 3, you should win. Right? Like,
oh my God.
Like the Magic
66 points in the paint, though. I mean, again, this is like this was Denver's effort level tonight. And I don't know, man. It's almost concerning. I'll tell you another thing that's concerning. I saw this from our friend and colleague TJ McBride. The Nuggets are 1-10 this season when their opponents score more than 100.
Yeah,
like getting really a Munder is a big deal because it's rare.
Yeah,
because it doesn't happen every night. But if you need it to happen every night just to win, that's concerning.
I mean, it's a lot of it, right? It's like I do think that they thought that they could coast offensively. And they don't have it.
Monte Morris mentioned this actually in the post game. He said early in the season we couldn't make any shots, so we knew we had to lock in on defense. But now we're starting to make shots, and our focus is gone. So there is something to that.
Yeah, and really, when you look at it, the only people that were really like Aaron Gordon was 7 of 12. Monte Morris was 10 of 15. Jeff Green was 2 of 5, but was 2 of 3 from 3-point range. Right. Campazzo hit 1 3. Maybe he should have taken more, but like Zeke was 3 of 3. Marcus Howard being 1 of 5. I can't be upset with Marcus Howard, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, come on.
But then there's Jermichael Green, 2 of 5, 0 of 2, and then a team worst -7 on the night. Like they were +2 with Jokic on the floor. They were -7 with Jermichael Green on the floor. They got to get a big. They got to. I
honestly don't think they do.
Okay, why not?
I just don't think that's the problem. Is like having a big there. I think that those combos, and look, right now I'm not going to complain about lineup rotations. There was literally 10 guys healthy. The only guy that didn't play was Bol. Like if he would have gotten in there, I feel pretty confident saying his plus minus would have been worse than whatever Jermichael Green's was. So right now, hands a little bit tied, but I don't know. I don't. There's only 3 or 4 teams that are going to kill him, and Orlando's not one of them. That's just going to kill you because you don't have a good backup center.
But wouldn't it have helped versus all the points in the paint, right?
Anybody trying would have helped last night. But Jokic allowed all those points in the paint too. It just
The thing I'm trying to here's what I'm trying to get to, Adam. I'm trying to get to a formula for them where they can just beat teams based off of talent level, because they're almost there. Like, they're almost there. This is not a team that's like, if you don't try really hard, you are going to lose. That's the Toronto Raptors. Like, if the Raptors do not bring their A game effort-wise on both ends of the floor every single night, they will lose any game that they do not do that. That's the only way they win games.
Right.
The Nuggets are almost there talent-wise. And, like, there's a bunch of ways they win this game, right? Like, Jokic just has a better game. They win.
Jokic just has like 1% better game. That's what was so crazy about this one, is it was so far below the threshold. Like, you have his average, then you have his bad game, and then you have what happened in that game. It was so low it allowed the Orlando Magic to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and ask this question. Do you think this was a hangover win or a hangover loss?
I have no idea.
Here's
what I will say about it. New Yoke, the new man, it like opens itself up to these questions, which is the whole thing is like, hey man, this is why you don't want to become a TMZ celebrity, is because you don't want people to like be taking photos of you at In-N-Out and being like, is he not eating healthy? Like, this is what happens when you go to a club. But I don't know, man. He's an adult.
Yeah, no, he gets to. I'm just like, you wonder when they lose a game like this, which again, I think here, like, I do think though that the problem,
Philadelphia radio host here and be like, if he wanted to win, he wouldn't be at the club till 3 a.m.
Right. Like, I don't care if he does. I'm more like, just like, oh yeah, that's going to happen. Right. I think I look at it more from the perspective of, they are kind of becoming, they've already played 15 games versus teams over 500. Okay. They've only played 6 games versus teams below 500. Compare that with the Suns, who have played 11. Like, that's a good comparison. The Jazz have played 13. The Warriors have played 8.
Well, I do know Denver has the easiest strength of schedule as of today already, and they kind of still have a tough couple games, so it gets even easier after this road trip, but they already have the easiest strength of schedule going forward, whatever it's worth.
So that'll help, right? But I will say this, like, they're 4-2 versus teams under 500. That's not where you want.
Oh, who is the other loss?
Trying
to think of who it was.
It would be they beat the Spurs twice, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
What's Cleveland's record?
The Sixers lost.
76ers are below 500?
No, I'm sorry, they are 500 flat.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who this other one was. Memphis, Cleveland. Maybe it's Cleveland? 12-10. No, who knows?
Regardless, this is via ESPN's expanded page, which I think updates as the records go, but it's definitely updated right now at 4-2. Okay. I know who it is. It's
telling you, it's none of these teams at Portland. Maybe it's Portland. 11-12. Yep,
11-12 Portland. So,
that was a game they didn't have anybody healthy, so that one almost doesn't even count.
Yeah, right. Oh, this is kind of the issue. One of the keys though is just like, you are going to have to be consistent. That's like a big key for making it without MPJ and Dozier and Jamal. Is like, you do have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, then you do not, like, you can do two things. You can be consistent, or you can just have more talent. Right? I will tell you, the Nets are not consistent night to night. I have to watch a lot of that team because of the title implications. They are not consistent night to night. Nobody is. Like, the only consistent is that Kevin Durant is fucking awesome. Everyone else is inconsistent, but they are so talented that they don't have to be.
No.
Like, they just get there.
This was honestly, it's not a big deal. We spent a lot of time on this. It's not a big deal. It just was weird because I had not seen Jokic play that bad in 2 years. So when you see it, it's like, it's a new marker. It's a new outlier. Maybe it belongs as an outlier that you just throw out, but at least it sort of moves the parameters to like, okay, that's what a bad game looks like now. Prior to that, a bad game was like still really, really good. And this one couldn't overcome Wagner and Wendell Carter, who I know I want you to know my hell is anytime the Nuggets lose, it's like, Jokic really struggles with whoever.
I won't. I promise. I won't do that. I promise. I swear.
The Knicks, by the way, lost tonight in heartbreaking fashion, so they're going to come into Saturday's game hungry as well. So Denver and the Knicks, by the way, kind of also fumbling through the last 2 weeks. So it's going to be two teams that kind of need that win.
Yeah, that one will be interesting. Then the big match versus Chicago on Monday. That one's gonna be interesting too. Bulls are playing really well right now.
Yep.
And then honestly, look, they play the Pelicans, and there's a good chance that Zion's back for that game. What?
No, it's just crazy. We'll find out.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about Devon Reed and some other things with the roster when we come back on Locked On Nuggets. But first, I want to tell you about BetOnline. They've got you covered for all season for more props, odds, and lines than ever before as football season continues the march to the playoffs. Big game this weekend. Look, every sharp better is going to be on the Broncos versus the Chiefs. Every single one of them. Like, doesn't matter that the Chiefs are off the bye. Like I just heard about how good the red zone defense is for the Broncos. Teddy Bridgewater is amazing in covering on spots on the road as a dog. He has a better completion percentage this season than Patrick Mahomes. So really, I don't even know why the Chiefs are favored in this game. The Broncos should be favored, I think, if anything. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this season. Head to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit using promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus. Basketball, football, NHL, boxing, and UFC. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. We'll be right back on Locked On Nuggets. Back here on Locked On Nuggets, final segment with Adam Mares. Thanks for making Locked On Nuggets your first listen each and every day. Make your second listen Locked On Bets, your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets, hosted by your boy Q with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. It's free, and it's available on all platforms. Adam, Nuggets, going to add Devon Reed, play with him in Summer League, play with the Pacers, play with the Suns. Going to be a little pickup there. Give me the scouting report on Devon Reed.
Well, first of all, we should mention that one of the reasons they're adding him, between last time we talked and this time, Bones Highland obviously in the protocols and Austin Rivers, who is symptomatic. His dad kind of let it out. He is vaccinated, but has gotten COVID, tested positive, and that he is actually, it's actually affecting him. So that's kind of a thing to monitor. And then Bol also entered the protocols as well. So Nuggets have 3 guys in the protocols. Devon Reed, we saw him a little bit in the summer league. We've seen him. He's been in the league before. Role player, high-level role player. He did a little bit when he was down in the G League this season. He did a little bit of everything, assists, rebounds, and scores. He can shoot. I think he is I know a lot of people were looking at, was it going to be Lance Stevenson or Devon Reed? Lance Stevenson represents sort of the loud player, like ball in his hands. He can do some stuff, sort of dynamic, this or that. I think Devon Reed represents the role player, more of a true role player, and a guy who's going to have a good basketball IQ, know where to fit in. Maybe doesn't guard so much like ones, but is going to be a body that's pretty strong, kind of football player body that can guard the perimeter, guard the wings. And then knock down corner threes. I'm most intrigued, though, by the fact that I think he's averaging 5 or 6 assists this season in Grand Rapids, and I'm curious to see if he's a guy that can play in a system when the ball gets popping.
Do you want to see any changes to their roster at this point? I understand that their options are limited, right? Because half the team is out. I get that. But I'm just saying, we talked about the center thing. Do you want to see them make any changes?
I don't, I think like Devon Reed or whatever, that's fine. Making trades. Here's the thing. I do think Tim Connelly might have gotten a little bit too cute, over the last 2 seasons at bringing on guys that just were never going to play. I mean, Marcus Howard, you're right. You can't blame him for his performance, but part of why you can't blame him is because he's just not very good. But why have players on your roster that, just can't fill in for you? I think Denver has too many of those guys, Bol, Marcus Howard. You even got Peter Cornely. And now here you are trying to pull up a Devon Reed who's going to bypass all of those guys to get minutes. And I just wonder. So to me, I don't think the Denver Nuggets need to make a major change. They need to get healthy. And a guy like Devon Reed to me seems like a stopgap. I'm optimistic he could be another in a long line of these like high-level role players that Tim Connelly finds.
Do you want Devon to play over Marcus Howard?
Oh, of course. No questions asked. I don't think Marcus Howard has value for the Nuggets.
Oof, poor Marcus.
I mean, look, he's a shot maker that he's made a majority of his 3-point shots over the span of like 3 games. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. So here's a question. You expected them to beat the Magic. They did not.
Correct.
Do you expect them to beat the Knicks?
The Knicks are a much better team, although they're kind of destabilizing as well. No, it's a morning game. This road trip, I don't know that I do. I think they should be underdogs.
They've got Mitchell Robinson. He gives Jokic a lot of trouble.
Jeez,
just messing with me. Yeah, I mean it's tough because the Knicks are going to be coming off of that heartbreaker loss to the Bulls. I think that's more though. Like I always think it's harder to come back after a short loss, after a small loss. Like the players have said that like those losses stick with you. It's demoralizing versus like you lose like a blowout. Like OKC's fine next game. That's not gonna. There's no hangover from that. They're just like, okay,
man. I don't know. There's a limit to this theory. I'm with, but 73 points. There might be a limit, and that limit might be 73 points.
They were without a lot of guys. It's fine. No
73, man. Woo.
Memphis' offense is crazy. It's wild how good Memphis' offense is, and their defense is bad. That's why, like, that's the real problem with OKC. Nice, like their defense was bad. So, here's a great quote. Can I read you this quote real quick?
Go for it.
This is from Mark Daigneault, the Thunder coach. When you compete, you have exposure to the highs and lows of competition. Competition comes with great joy. It also comes with grief and frustration and anger. And when you step in that ring, that's what you expose yourself to, is all of those things. It's what makes it such a fulfilling experience. And that's why the joy feels so good, because when you get punched and you taste your own blood, it doesn't feel great. Like that quote.
Doesn't feel great. So
you've never been beaten by 73 points?
I've never been beaten by 73 points. I will say in high school, we had a really bad team when I was a sophomore, and I know the first quarter was 29-2. That was a really bad loss.
Final question here about the Nuggets. I'm debating whether or not to go here. No, I won't go here.
What?
No, it's you're gonna think it's goofy just because, like, okay, they went out in Miami, right? They went out in Miami. 2 days later, they lose to the Magic. They will have traveled from Orlando on Wednesday.
Well, they'll be in New York. They will definitely have spent a few days in New York.
Yeah, they'll have spent Thursday and Friday night in New York before Saturday morning at MSG.
Look, man, at some point the team has to like just kind of lock in. I really do believe this. Like this is I really have a lot of confidence even in the guys that are healthy. I mean, losing Bones and Austin Rivers is tough. It just kills your depth. But I still have a lot of confidence in that starting lineup. But at some point, you just need to win a few of these games. Like if Denver, so they've got New York, they've got Chicago, New Orleans, and then 2 against San Antonio. I think you need to win 2 of these games at least. 3 would be great, but I think you need to win 2 more of these, and wherever you get them. And performances like the one in Orlando would have given them a nice cushion. You say, okay, there you go. You're 2-0 to start this trip. We'll see what happens, but you got to pick up some. And I don't know that they will be favored in 2 of these games. We'll see.
I will tell you right now, they will win 2 of the next 3 versus the Knicks, Bulls, and Pelicans.
2 of the next 3?
2 of the next 3, and then they will split with San Antonio 1-1.
What's interesting about the San Antonio one is, and Michael Malone kind of joked about this. I saw a quote today, I think, from Mike Singer about how the nice thing about this road trip being so long is Bones will be in the protocols and out on the same road trip. He will enter and get out of the protocols all within the course of one road trip. Just crazy.
The last thing that they needed was that, man. It's just like everything that happens to them is like, well, that's the last thing that they needed. Just like every single thing.
The team should have done this. Like, just said like, hey guys, one of the reasons we all need to be vaccinated is because we go to Florida.
Fair.
We go to Florida and we got to take care of it.
Fair. Let's go wrap it up for Locked On Nuggets. Thanks for making this part of your day. Make sure to hit us with questions at Locked On Nuggets on Twitter. You can follow Adam on Twitter at Adam_Mares. Please go to the YouTube page and like and subscribe. It helps us out a ton. Please watch the show on YouTube.
We want to make money for this pod. So we need to want to make money. So we want to find all the people, all the viewers we can, all the Nuggets fans in the world.
Bring it in. Thanks for all the shout outs on Spotify Wrapped. Those have been awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
Have really loved seeing that. Really appreciate you guys showing us your Spotify Wrapped with Locked On Nuggets at the top. Have yourselves a great Friday. We'll talk to you guys again next time on Locked On Nuggets.